Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And it's yet another Hump Day Happy Hour. It is show number 16. That's right,
Nice.
16 of these. Only 139 more and I'll be retired. And today we enjoyed Malibu. And you said that was some good stuff today.
It tastes like Malibu has a taste. That's what it should taste like.
It does have a taste, and that indeed is what it tastes like. Yes. Oh, you mean Malibu, California?
Exactly.
You went out there and licked the pavement.
Yeah,
that's what,
sure.
That is what it tastes like. And we'll fly out to Comic-Con. You can go lick the pavement at Malibu.
Sanctuary.
That'll be good video content.
Yeah.
And make sure after we're through, you go over to check out Primetime. He actually is calling it tonight pure Primetime. Nothing but Primetime. No cha-chingathon, no guests, nothing at all.
100% Prime.
Exactly. Total Q&A with Primetime, so that should be a lot of fun as well.
Nice.
Go ahead. There's a couple of people showing up. That's good.
Lori's in the house. Thomas is in the house like always. How's it going, everyone?
That's good to see people over here.
Who switched sides?
Oh, we're on different sides. We're on this side on the live show, and we're on the other side on
that is true. Yeah.
Studio shows. That way you can always tell when we're on a live show. It's kind of one of our little thing. You know, Les Nessman, remember him?
Yes, from WKRP in Cincinnati.
He always had a Band-Aid somewhere, and it changed on different shows.
No,
so that was one of their things. And our thing is, what side we're sitting on.
Nice.
We got something too. Couldn't afford Band-Aids. Didn't LA have a Band-Aid too?
I think so, yeah.
A couple more people.
Linda's in the house, and Amazon Seller 99 is here very early. I'm excited because I have some Amazon issues to discuss later.
There you go. We'll get right into those pretty quickly. Last week's show, a nice, fun show.
Like always.
How was the show with Random Neighborhood Kid? Did you finally catch up?
It was pretty good. I liked it. He's better with the mouse than I am. You know, clicking on there, but he's a young one, so.
That's true.
I'm old school.
He grew up with it, so yeah, he knows all that stuff. So that's good. Thanks to everybody reaching out to us, Instagram, Facebook, through the channel, et cetera, et cetera. Love that. And you probably didn't see. Did you see our bonus Monday video that we put up?
Not yet. I'm waiting for Monday to watch it.
Oh well, all right.
I'm on a week delay.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. I did give you a call. One of our subscribers recognized my voice at the flea market. That is
true. Yes.
So apparently I've got a.
Sadly, he was 4 miles away at another flea market, and he heard his voice.
Some other people showed up.
All right. Ben's in the house. Thank you very much. Sensible Treasures, like always. How's Utica going? And Joe Losi. I want to apologize. Joe came in the other day, and I was under a lot of stress. My manager was on with Amazon, so I was really short with him. You know, we still ended up doing a deal, but I was a little short and moved him out a little bit. So next time, hopefully, I'm not stressed out with Amazon.
Well, let me give the quick little shameless plug. I want to thank everybody that uses the affiliate links. Real easy way to help the channel. Every time we have the write-up, if you click down below, you can see the affiliate links. You just click on either eBay or Amazon, click on any item in there. You don't have to purchase those items. Any item that you purchase off of that link, we may get a commission. And we definitely do appreciate that. It does help the channel.
And I'll be buying a retractable green screen this week through there, so you're welcome.
Well, thank you. I do appreciate it. Well, why don't we move stuff around just a little bit on here? Why were you on the phone with Amazon?
Already we're running into this? Where do I begin? I don't think we have enough time to talk about everything. So let's start with the current issue at hand. I sent out a Sports Illustrated calendar, one of those old school 15 by 15 gigantic ones. Well, sadly, it was in storage for about 5, 6, 7 years. It was rolled up, and I pulled it out. We shipped it. I didn't think anything of it. It looked to me to be in decent condition. The buyer receives it, and it was supposed to be new. And he doesn't give me a negative. He doesn't contact me, but he reports me to Amazon, which is obviously everyone knows is a no-no. Once Amazon gets a report from a buyer, the seller's in trouble instantly. So I said, well, it looked good to me. It must have happened. It must have got damage in shipping. I mean, what could I say? I mean, we check our stuff. This one item out of 500,000 items.
Well, I'm going to jump into your story a little bit. You've had a few issues in the past with items listed as new that were not necessarily new. And I think one of the big items or one of the big areas would be something like, I'll say Barbie dolls.
Hess trucks and Barbies are big
They
ones, especially
look-
at Christmas. Yeah.
They look new,
Right.
but they've been removed from the box, or the top of the box has been opened with the Barbie, and it's been
Yeah, the
pulled
box
out
has
the
some like a
packaging.
Hess truck. The box may have a ding or somewhere, but overall it looks. Sometimes you go into stores, Toys R Us, wherever you go, Walmart, and things are on the shelf and they're dinged up, but they're still new in the box.
Right,
But,
right. So
yeah.
you've actually made it a practice at this point. Anything new, you, as I recall, you circle new,
right.
and you got a couple of different people checking just to make sure that it is new. And
Yeah,
there
if
have been
it's
times
if
when
it's a
some-
record that's supposed to be sealed and it's not sealed, we've had those slip through. And like I said, if you're shipping out 100, 200, 300 items, it's going to happen occasionally. We've been good for a while, so I think over the last 6 months we were at 0 for condition. So now we're at 1 policy violation in that category. But for whatever reason, this one violation is driving Amazon nuts and driving me nuts, because I'm just saying basically it got damaged in shipment. We'll refund the gentleman. He can return it. He can keep it. We don't even care. But they want us to do a business
action plan,
which we've done. Today would be the 4th action plan that got rejected. And I laid out 7 steps as far as from the beginning. And, they wanted an invoice, which I don't have an invoice. It was bought secondhand through my retail brick and mortar store. They said, that's fine. Just state that. I put that as number 1. We prep all the items. They go through quality control to make sure they're new. We're going to double box it, sleeve it, whatever, double cardboard it, make sure it goes out correctly. If there's any issues, we will refund them. And they come back and say, well, we should use a new shipping company. We should hire new employees, and we should buy new packing materials. And I said, you know what? Over the last 12 years, 13 years, we've sold hundreds of thousands of items, and we have one issue, and you want me to change my whole business plan, or you're going to kick me off, which is a possibility for this one item. And I said, Amazon sends out probably millions of items a day. And I go, you're telling me none of them get damaged in transit, none of them get there broken or opened or whatever, and most of these people I can't understand, so it's even more frustrating. But we're going to shoot for the 5th action plan tomorrow, and hopefully it goes through, but it's just very frustrating and stressful.
And the thing that I've told you, and it makes you
hold on. I will calm down. Dawn and Jem are in the house.
Oh, there you
Thank
go.
you. All right. Set
There
my mind at ease. Oh, I love Papergoy shirt too. The blue really brings out his eyes.
It does. Thank you. My baby blues. Thank you. The biggest problem that I see with the whole thing is, unless Amazon has some information that they're not telling you, that the buyer told them. Which
we found out today because we did ask them. Because in the email it just said he's saying it was used, not new.
Yeah. So
on this 4th phone call with them, he said it was a little dirty and bent. And I said, okay, little dirty. We usually clean them. It was sleeved.
Yeah.
I go, but bent, obviously bent. It's a big calendar. It's a big calendar. Obviously, most are going to probably get bent in shipping unless you put them in some gigantic like stereo box.
Right.
So, all right, enough of this ranting. You can rant later on your little rant.
Why don't you see who else has come in and look at
Eric's in the house.
Oh, wow.
Let's see. Amazon Store 99. Those are tough. Make sure you word it present tense, not future tense. We've changed our supplier. We signed new employees to quality control. So, all right. We'll add that in. Well, I'm going to go with like 10 steps tomorrow, I think. But one thing they wanted us to, the new thing they wanted us to describe, which they want to know our warehouse layout. And my manager said, what does it have to do with the item getting damaged in shipment? So for whatever reason, I'll have to, put a large description of our warehouse layout.
Wow.
I mean, it's a little bit for one item. And do you think they're just reading off some cue card or something?
Wow.
Oh, man. Right. Well, that's what we've been doing. And they've been, I think Papergoy did one. I did 2 or 3 at this point. And it's all like nice. Everything. We're going to double check this. We're going to do that. We're going to talk to our employees, have meetings. And I don't know what else they want. So we asked them this time. I go, you tell us what you want us to say. Because we don't know at this point. What else do we do? We've done this for 12, 13 years, 99%.
99.9%.
Yeah, which is better than Amazon's ratio, I bet, when they ship their stuff out from their center. So,
well, I need to find that Malibu and give you another shot of that.
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
Wow, that's okay. Unexpected turn. Well, let's go back to the regularly scheduled program currently in progress.
All right.
So the adult stuff ends tomorrow, I believe.
Thank you for reminding me. Yes.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Just because you've got nothing else on your mind. Have your other sales been picking up at all? You were talking last week about maybe with the algorithm that you sell X number per time, and now you're selling fewer adult.
I wouldn't say it's up, but I mean, I'm happy with the sales. They're steadily average, so I'm not dipping down. Obviously the adult stuff's going down, but I'm doing okay with the non-adult stuff. Sundays always seem to be a drag. Low sales across the board, eBay and Amazon lately. It could be that just that time of year.
Probably the weather.
Yeah, but hopefully I have a lot of customers saying, "Hey, as of July 15th, we're going to start shopping in your site." So we'll see what happens in the next week or so.
And just you calm down.
No, I'm going to be ranting and raving all night, so everyone be prepared.
Why don't I talk a little bit and then just let you calm down a little bit?
I've never heard him say that before.
Let you calm down a little bit because there's one other point I want to bring up.
Hold on, Jem's trying to help me out here.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. Perfect.
A Hallmark card always works too.
Send it to Amazon.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yep. So, Viv's Views made a sale.
Nice.
The $1 million dot peddlers made a sale on HIP.
All right.
The $1 million dot peddlers made a sale on eBay.
Exciting.
And I made an Etsy sale.
Well, things are going good for someone.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. I am king of the single sale. Yeah. I am absolute king of the single sale. However, somebody else is working on an eBay store, as you're well aware. Random Neighborhood Kid.
I got some good inventory to sell them.
I've been picking up some good inventory. I picked up some stuff over at the church sale for him and everything. And guess what happened to him?
He listed everything and it all sold.
He has 5 items listed, has sold nothing, but people are watching. He gets excited every day, coming down, taking a look at him, wanting to list. He bumped up against his limit. 5 items.
Ooh, that's nice.
5 items.
Has it ever been that low ever?
I have never heard of it being that low. That's absolutely insane. And it's not like he's listing $1,000 items or, it's not like he's listing 5. I'm going to show my is it a Malibu a car? No,
it is a car. Yeah. It's also a song by Hole.
That's our whole theme tonight is Malibu. It's not like he's listing 5 Chevy Malibus at, I don't even know what they go for, $5,000 a piece or something. He's listing $15 to $20 items. He's bumped up against his limit at 5. And, he can form an LLC if he wants more, but obviously he's not going to form an LLC. Yeah. So that kind of discouraged him some, as you can definitely imagine.
Well, can I give him some of mine? I got like $5 billion to spread out.
You can ask eBay if he's willing to do that.
They're like the online mafia, these two.
It's kind of crazy though that 5 for a new seller, because eBay has done advertisements in the past telling you, hey, go around your house, sell stuff around your house, make a little extra money for the holidays, make a little extra money. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Oh, great. I sold 5 CDs around my house. I have 80 more to sell, and I made $12.
What's the average price of them, too? It can't be a lot of money each. So
$15, yeah.
So if he sold everything, 70 of you have to sell $75 in sales to get more listings.
Well, but that's also his monthly total. So this month he could list those 5 items, sell them all, get $75, and
I've never heard of that from anyone ever.
Twiddle his thumbs the rest of the month. So hopefully they see that he listed the 5, and hopefully they move them up to 10 or 15 or something.
Sure.
Because 5 really does seem ludicrous. I mean, even 25, that's basically 1 a day. That's not unreasonable for somebody, especially 25 a day or $500 value or something like that.
Yeah, right.
Then you can't stick anybody too hard.
How do you grow? Jeez.
Yeah, exactly. 5 items is a bit on the small side. So I did want to share that with you. He is trying, though.
Yeah.
He is trying. We did put up the haul video with the church sale, and that was a lot of fun. Good, good fun video on that. Some of the comics, and one of the comics I showed in there, and I may have mentioned this in the haul video, was a House of Mystery 143, which is the first appearance of the Martian Manhunter in that title.
Yeah,
and it's a minor key. And I had no idea. A year ago, I would not have bought that. I had no idea it's a minor key. Do you know how I learned that it's a minor key?
You went to list a duplicate and saw how expensive it was?
I don't have a duplicate, unfortunately. It was my only one.
I don't know then.
I go to Heritage regularly.
Right.
And auction after auction, they have that comic book there.
Right.
And so I guess the lesson is pay attention to things around. When you are walking around to dealers, and Heritage is a dealer, let's be honest, or a gigantic auction house, they're a big dealer. When you're walking around, even if the guy's got high prices, take a look at what he's got like up on his board if he's got comics, or take a look at what he has featured with high prices, and you might learn something. And I learned that comic book is a minor key. I would have passed that by a year or two ago. Certainly. I paid $3 for it in condition. It's a $50 comic.
Yeah. I
would have walked right by it, except going to Heritage auction after Heritage auction online, constantly seeing that comic book sitting there.
Right.
I said, I recognize that comic from Heritage. And I went and I bought it again because it was only $3.
Yeah. What's it worth in condition?
$50.
50.
So it's not bad. It's not a little pickup on that. Yeah. Because last year I wouldn't have bought it.
Right.
I just would have gone, it's a House of Mystery from the 60s.
Well, I probably have some in my common bronze. Is Bronze Age?
I would be Silver Age.
Silver, late silver, maybe. Yeah. All right, so maybe I have one.
But definitely when you are walking around the dealers, even if they're high priced and you can't buy off them, if you've got a couple of minutes, browse.
Right.
You're going to see some stuff there, and you're going to say, why does he have that priced high? And a lot of times people will like put on the sticker what it is, like, oh, I didn't realize that. And then you learn something or other that later on when you're out in the wild, you tend to find.
Sure.
So that, that's absolute proof that definitely does help.
Okay, Papergoy, sing us a song.
You're the piano man.
No, sing us a song.
Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. I don't know who does that. See what I did there? See what I did?
I thought you'd finish it off, but
won't be fooled again. Oh, he even told us.
Exactly. See, read it before. Jeez.
Well, you want to talk? That'll jump in.
Hold on. We're among greatness, everybody. Snyderman is in the house. Dave, what's up, buddy?
For anybody that doesn't know, Snyderman, we go back, 30 years almost, probably 30 years at this point now. And he's got some great collectibles and always been very, very fair in dealing. Yeah. So good to see you, Snyderman.
Yeah, he's the only guy that got away with slapping me in the face, and I didn't retaliate because he's bigger than me. But other than that, hopefully at some point we can work on a large Star Wars statue collection. We'll see how that goes. I've been bugging him every now and then.
Well, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit over here because you were talking about read. Maybe I should learn how to read. So I sold a Metal Maniacs magazine. Have you had any of those?
I have a lot of those. I sell them regularly. Yep.
And so my listing, a lot of times those came with CDs. They came with posters. They came with various things like that. So I picked up a small pile of them, 5, 6, 7 years ago. And what I did is I put in my listing, does not come with anything, does not have any CDs, if applicable, does not have any poster. Yeah. It's just the magazine. Yeah. And my listing specifically says that. Well, I got an email about 15 minutes before showtime from somebody that bought a magazine. I bought this Metal Maniacs magazine, and I bought it specifically for the poster of Yo, whatever it is.
Yo-Yo Ma.
And he goes, and I quote, "I need action taken on this."
Okay.
Well, we need action taken on this as well. Yeah. We need the school system to teach reading. So that is what I wanted to say. However, what I ended up saying is I said, well, just to let you know, and then I copy and pasted from the listing. I said, just to let you know, it wasn't supposed to have the poster, but you certainly can return for a full refund. You know, sorry for the misunderstanding.
Right.
Haven't heard back from them yet. Now, I know that if I were the buyer in that situation, I wouldn't pursue it any further myself.
Well, I'd even apologize for overlooking.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that would be what I would end up doing. But we'll see. And then maybe he will return it. And you know, whatever, I do offer for free return. So if he wants to return it, that's fine. Yeah. But it just made me laugh. I need action taken on this. Have you?
And how much was it? $10?
$10, $12.
Yeah. Give me a break. Yeah.
Right? He needs action taken.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've got to run back. I forgot a prop. We're going to be like Carrot Top tonight.
Jeez.
Why don't you tell about any buys while I go grab the prop?
Let's see. So far, I have a large adult deal in the works.
Well, that was fascinating.
Anywho, the guy's got about 4,000 pieces out of state. Well, not out of state. I think he's in Albany. Out of state for my driver, Gil.
Okay.
So I think he wanted 8,000, but he didn't know how many magazines. So he wanted $2 a piece, but he didn't know how many magazines. So it's approximately. He had a bunch of flat rate boxes filled with magazines and stuff. And I just said, well, I'm better with numbers, so give me I know how many VHS you have. I don't know how many magazines you have. Give me a rough count. So I talked to my driver, and he said, well, by the time we get the truck and the help and the days of driving, It's gonna be at least $1,000. So I just said, hey, I could come back. I said, would you do 6,500? And he goes, I normally don't do this. I'm going to stay firm because I know it's really, really good stuff, but I will get you a count in the magazine. So generally when they say something like that, it's really good stuff and it's going to be a really good deal. So I'll end up taking it for the 8,000 plus the driving fees, but
Nice.
and then I didn't get turned down. I told you about the card deal possibly today with some vintage basketball and football. Yeah. Husband and wife came in, they're probably in their 60s or 70s. And he had these cards in the 50s and 60s when he was a kid. Will Chamberlain rookie, Johnny Unitas, really good stuff. I thought I made him a fair offer, over $3,000. They didn't know they knew they were good cards. They didn't know what they were worth. And I tried to explain to them about the grading. I go, if you go online, just don't
look at a 10 or a 9.
Right. Don't mix them up with the graded cards because they're two different universes. Maybe you have a 5 there, but it's not a 5 till it becomes a 5. You have to look at it. You have a VG raw card, as far as the Chamberlain, which could be 3,000, 2,000, 30. It all depends. It was off center, so that's obviously going to hurt it, especially being graded. And they had some other decent stuff. Condition wasn't as good, but, I thought the stuff was probably worth, 6,000. I'm going to be in around 50%, and they were shocked that I offered them that much. So I think that was the whole red flag thing. Well, let me shop them around now, which I hate because I never would have come up with that price. I would have said, hey, you shop it around and then bring it to me. I just told them, I go, do me a favor. Just give me, if someone offers more, just give me a shot at matching or beating it. That's all I ask, because I spent a half hour with them explaining the whole system to them.
Oh, plus, I think you might have that wilt sold to somebody.
It is true.
Somebody needs that one card for that set.
I have this weird feeling it's going to be worth a lot of money if I get it.
I have this feeling it will too. Yes, as a matter of fact, I'll just pay you with funny money.
Yeah,
now the prop that I got. Let me ask you this: you've seen me ship things out.
Mm-hmm.
You ship things out. Thank goodness this wasn't an Amazon sale because somebody would be in a lot of trouble. Anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, watch the first 10 minutes of the show where he has a coronary. Would I ship this Mod Podge in this envelope?
I don't think anyone ever would, but that's happened to me before. I see where you're going with this.
So somebody bought this Mod Podge magazine from me, or booklet, whatever it is. I guess it's a booklet about how to do Mod Podge. After about a week and a half, they put in a return, and the reason why was just didn't want it. Well, okay, that's fine. I have free returns. And didn't hear anything for about a week or so. And then all of a sudden they must have thrown it in the mail.
Right.
And I get this back and it's got a little red over here on the side and all that, which, I said, what the heck is this? And I said, it says first class package return service. And I said, what is getting returned in an envelope this size? I don't sell,
Yeah.
And then I opened it up and this was in it.
Folded nice.
Yeah, they did a really nice job of folding this over here.
It's a nice trifold.
It stands up now, which it didn't before. So then I immediately called eBay, and what they told me is do not refund the buyer.
Right.
They'll take care of everything, and then I'll open a case up, and then they're going to want pictures of this because obviously this was not in the condition that I sent it out.
Right.
I guess the question I have for the individual that bought this, which hopefully you're a subscriber, hopefully you're watching.
And you had cardboard, I'm assuming, as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good
sleeve. A sleeve.
Yep.
And he kept that.
Well, yeah, he has to take me for 10 cents. That is actually another good point. I shipped it to the buyer with cardboard.
Yeah. A larger envelope.
Just use the same envelope. Just put it back in the same envelope and send it back to me. That's fine.
A lot more effort on his part to do that.
To bend that up real nice to fit in here. So they would not be allowed to sell on Amazon with that kind of shipping.
One and done. It's a one and done. One and done. Yeah.
A few other people showed up.
All right. Eric's in the house. How's it going? Tom Cuddy, how you doing, sir? Snyderman's back. What Snyderman got to say here?
The real show starts filleting, and Papergoy breaks it.
Well, please, let's not get crazy.
That's something to be seen.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you for letting me be myself.
I want to do a bloopers peddlers episode. We'll see how that goes down the road.
At some point, yeah.
We do act silly behind closed doors.
Yes, we do. Couple of other things. I don't tend to sell records very much, but I did pick up a few records over the weekend.
Nice,
because I went to the public market, to the flea market, and I needed some gas, so I went Yes, the gas station. So I went to a truck stop and selling records. No, I went to go buy gas, and I go pull in there, and as I pull in, the card reader says,
I don't know about you guys. This sounds like a rambling story beginning.
It is a rambling story. It's a bonus rambling story. The card reader's out.
Of course.
And I said, well, I'm not going in.
No, I hate that.
The whole reason I have the credit card is to do it at the pump. So I drove down, and I said, bought the comics and a few other things down at the sale. And I said, hey, I know where another gas station is that uses the credit card that I use because I get 5 cents off and everything.
Right.
So I drove up to there, went around. So I ended up coming home a different way. And as I was coming home, there was a sign up for an estate sale one street over that I never would have seen had I gone the regular way.
Right.
So I said, what the heck? It's one street over. I think I can make a detour. So they had LPs. It was half price day, and it was somebody's uncle had passed, and they were selling the things off. So first thing I say, do you have any books?
Yeah.
No, we donated all those to Goodwill. Who knows what he might have had? Why'd you do that? Should have let me look through them, and I would have donated them. But they had records. LPs were 4 for $1, and 45s were 8 for $1.
That's pretty good.
Now, I don't know a lot about records or LPs, but I know that if I can get an Elvis picture sleeve for 12.5 cents, I probably can make money on it.
I would think so, yeah.
A Buddy Holly record for 12.5 cents for 45, things like that. So I ended up buying them. I listed the stuff between Amazon, Discogs, and eBay. I spent $5, and I think I listed the stuff out for about $180, something like that. So even I'll buy records once in a while when I end up seeing them.
Nice.
I'm going to move a little bit into yet a little different area. You look a little bit stressed today, but not just from Amazon, I would say.
Yeah, I got another Amazon issue.
Oh, you do?
We'll talk about that in a little bit. But did you want to work into the eBay issue?
I wanted to ask you how eBay is doing with the item specifics.
I don't like to use the H word for hate, but right now I'm not very happy. And I think anyone that's a larger seller wouldn't be happy with these item-specific changes because I went to relist yesterday, and I couldn't relist a lot of items. So it looks like we figured it out. We have about 100,000 listings to revise with the item specifics over the next, I guess, 30 to 90 days.
Before they drop out?
Before they drop out. So I'm not very happy seeing that. I'm working, 18 hours a day as it is. And now I got to add this in. My 2 tech employees that were my best listers, they're leaving at the end of the month. So I'm going to lose them. We definitely won't get it done in time. So the system right now is I got my 1 employee revising all the live items, and I'm revising all the ended items to relist them. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's a lot of time involved, and just got a lot on my plate between eBay and Amazon, all these changes they're doing.
Well, and you're talking about the item specifics. I'd like to give an example of where item specifics go completely off the rails.
Okay.
And I figured out what happened. So I buy comic books now and then for my collection. And as I was telling you, I picked up a comic book for my collection at Heritage, a Showcase 34, first Adam, graded 4.0. I paid $250 for it. In condition, graded like that, it's about a $400 comic. So I did very well. I don't know how that slipped through the cracks at Heritage.
Yeah, that's odd at Heritage.
It's very odd at Heritage, but I'm very glad that it did. Yeah. So another comic book that shows up all the time at Heritage is a Hawkman #1. And what I usually do is I throw a bid on it.
Yeah.
And one of these days, I'm going to win one. Just one of these days I will. So I said, well, let me go on eBay and let me see what Hawkman #1s are going for on eBay. So I typed in Hawkman #1, and what came back were hundreds of items. And I said, okay. And I start looking. Strange Tales, Strange Adventures. So what ended up happening was that somebody was listing a Hawkman #1 or a Hawkman comic, and they used the item specific for Hawkman as the character or as the issue title.
Yeah.
And then they never changed it.
No.
And so anytime you search on Hawkman, that comes up. Yeah. Much like if you were to, let's just say that you wanted to do your item specifics in a hurry. So you just listed Time Magazine as everything.
Right.
People Magazine, you just had Time as a drop down for the title.
Yeah.
Anybody that searched on Time, those would come up.
Right.
So if people, it's the old saying, garbage in, garbage out. So if people are using the item specifics, but just filling in the wrong title or forgetting to change them, it's completely messing up the searches.
Right.
Completely messing up.
Well, and how are they going to monitor that, really?
I guess if they really wanted to do it and people started complaining, it's some sort of miscategorization because it's not, say you did that with your stuff, but you're not, you're doing it the right way.
Keyword spamming or whatever.
Exactly, something other like that. Because again, I went to search for the Hawkman #1 and I'm getting, Sergeant Fury. Sergeant Fury is not Hawkman. It's not even the same, it's Marvel, not DC. So I see a lot of problems with their item specifics if they're using them as a main thing to search off of.
Right.
And to make you do it, that's one of the few things, like we've talked in the past, that's one of the few things that they've ever actually gone through with and ended and said you have to do this and are forcing you to do it.
Yeah, it's crazy. They should have just did it moving forward, and because a lot of them are from 10 years ago when they didn't even have drop downs. Oh, Snyder Man wants you to say something.
Oh, Mr. Magazine is a YouTube sex symbol.
You're too kind. You're too kind. Mr. Cuddy's got a good question. If the manual delete all the XXX listings tomorrow, does eBay do it? They do it automatically by every day over the last 30 days. So whatever would have been relisted is just dead and ended. But now with this new item specifics, I have 700 pages of dead items that I have to relist and dig through and revise. So Papergoy gave me the good idea of deleting the highest numbered page and working backwards. So from the one that's going to end the soonest and the highest numbered page, we're going to delete that and go down, because what I was doing was doing 20 pages and then, I leave work, whatever. Then tomorrow I got to start, and you can't pick a page. You got to start from the number page 1 or page 700. So I did start deleting. I deleted about 20 pages, which was 1,000 items. Wait, 400 or whatever, but or 4,000. I'm sorry, I deleted 4,000 adult, and I'm getting down to either listings I got to relist or revise. So it's going to be a process, but if I do say 10, 20, 30 pages a day, it'll certainly get done in the next 30 to 90 days.
Do you remember? I can't remember if you were on the show or if it was one with Random Neighborhood Kid where I mentioned the forever stamps.
Yeah, I heard it. It was the week I missed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was asking because I was able to buy 500 forever stamps for $50, like 10 cents a stamp or 7 cents a stamp, whatever it worked out to.
I have to ask you a question after this regarding that, but go ahead.
Okay. Turns out it was a scam.
Okay. That was my question. All right.
Turns out it was a scam.
Oh, my Lord.
I never got it. And I said, Joe, as I do my bills once a week, and I said, oh, I haven't gotten those stamps lately. I said, let me look into it. So I went in and searched on, and I went to contact the seller.
Yeah.
Have you sent this out? And it says, this is about an item or not. Oh, yeah, it's about an item. Now, usually that shows up in the drop down, the item that you bought from.
Yeah.
And that didn't. So I filled the item number in, and it said there is no such item. I go, well, wait a minute. Yes, there is. I bought. So I checked, and it had been removed from their database.
Oh.
So I have to put in a item not received. I'm going to end up getting my money back. I'm not concerned about
process.
that.
Yeah.
But here's my thought. Your eBay. You've removed this item because it was a fraudulent item. You can see that it was never given to the post office. Why do I have to jump through multiple hoops to get my money back?
Yeah, you won't get it. You won't get it unless you do it.
Unless I do it.
Yeah.
When eBay know that I never got the product. Yeah. You eBay know that it was a mislisted item, a scam, whatever it happened to be. You're aware of that. I have to jump through all these hoops. So I ended up having to pay the 50-some cents like you normally would on it.
Yeah, because I was going to ask, because I'm doing all those mailers. I saved, 3 years worth of eBay adult sales. So I have everyone's address to do. I'm putting the flyers in the envelopes, and, it's like 50 cents per. So if I have 3,000 envelopes to mail out, that's $1,500. I was going to say, hey, do they have bigger bulk deals? Because I certainly would spend 500 or 1,000 to get a deal. Oh, and by the way, the top loader case that you ordered for me,
yes,
I forgot the gentleman said, we're currently all out of top loader cases. However, we have top loader cases that are blue, red,
rookie,
and green.
Oh, okay.
So he goes, I'll give you 15% off if you pick a color. So do you think the whole cart, the whole top loader, or just the edge? I just said, send me the, I was worried that the whole card's going to be that color. I've never seen them like that. So I said, just send me the lightest color. Yep. So just in case. All right. Amazon seller got scammed on eBay from a stolen account, bought a rare coin for $700, but luckily PayPal covered it. I mean, that stuff goes on all the time.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's what happened over here. And I'd even checked to see that the person had feedbacks for selling these same items type deal before I purchased it.
Right,
because I said, it seems like a really good deal. I'm not sure what's going on, but okay, but other people have given them positives on it. So, but turns out it wasn't wasn't what it was. Oh, we got the finally got our Amazon merch item up.
Oh, nice. What is it?
It's a T-shirt. Okay, you may or may not be old enough to remember that.
We're only a few years different, but go ahead.
Okay, when you were growing up, if you were playing a sports game and you screwed it up so the team lost, what were you?
A loser, a goat.
A goat, right? Yeah. Exactly. Well, nowadays, goat doesn't mean that anymore.
No,
goat means
not.
Greatest of all time, which always makes me
goat
laugh.
Doesn't even mean goat anymore, really.
Well, yeah, because there's about 18 different goats. And trust me, I tell a random neighborhood kid all the time. Everybody who puts a song out, oh, that's the goat. No, greatest of all time. Right. There's one greatest of all time, not 63 people who put out a song.
Exactly.
But we put up a T-shirt, text only, and it says something like, "I'm old enough. I remember when being a goat was not a good thing," or something off of that. So haven't sold any yet, but
was there a picture of you on it? They would sell some Papergoy T-shirts, or
Am I old school goat or new school goat?
Old school.
Oh, wow, thank you. I do appreciate that. I do appreciate that. People are always complaining about scam buyers. This is a reminder that there are scam sellers too.
True.
Yep, and the person had 1,200 positives. So my thought is they probably did get their account hijacked. I have no doubt because they're still up and running and the items were removed. So I'm sure that it was a situation.
We should look Monday and see if we can get a deal on them, because I certainly would spend $500 or $1,000 to save some money in mailing. Yeah,
I did look, and like I said, there weren't really any big deals out there, but I also didn't look too deep. I'm only looking for 100 stamps. So
sure, cool, Mr. Cuddy. Let's see what he's got to say. PlayStation UK ran an article asking people to secure their Sony accounts after a large string of hacked accounts with large fraudulent purchase attached. Yep, that happens a lot as well. Yeah, we do our best. Hopefully, the banks will help us out, and we're good to go.
Now we're going to go into the subtopic today, and I don't want to. Basically it's about, and you're running into this problem for certain, and it's about trying to hire.
Yeah, that is a big frustrating. Well, I got a lot of frustration going on lately. We got an Amazon, 2 Amazon issues.
You need some comfort food.
2 eBay issues. Oh, trust me, I have plenty of comfort food. And hiring is very frustrating. Yeah.
So why don't you go into real quickly about the hiring process and what you're finding out there and the candidates? And what's happening?
I've been using Indeed for a long time, and I've had some success getting some. I did get my assistant manager, who's a great worker, from there, so I'm lucky there. A lot of the help ends up they're being okay. We need help, so we'll take what we can get. Once we train them, they do as good as they can do, I guess. But this last time with Indeed, I think we went through 100 resumes. We found 10 that we thought would be good fits. The assistant manager and myself. Now,
let me ask this: were these resumes sent to you by the candidates?
By the candidates,
okay.
Yeah. So say the course of a month we got 100. We picked out 10 out of the, and then we would call those 10. So out of those 10, only 3 responded or called back. They were interested in the job, the pay, and so forth. We set up a date, which was Tuesday. All 3 of them were coming in Tuesday, 9:30, 10, and 10:30. So my assistant manager was all set. He came in. We got ready for them. We sat down, got the chairs out. 9:30 comes around, and no-show number 1. So we, did some other stuff, kept busy for another 25 minutes. No-show number 2. And then the last one was a no-show. 3 no-shows out of 100. So we picked the best 10, then the best 3 out of that were coming, and all 3 were no-shows. So I don't know what's going on. We put an ad on Monster, and I actually jacked up the rate 50 cents, like just in case I don't want, I went to $1.50 over minimum wage, which I think is fair. I mean, it's close to $15 at this point. It's been over a week, not one person responded on Monster, and that's like almost $400 a month. So yeah, it's definitely frustrating. However, I do use a temp service when I'm in, when I'm desperate.
Or you just need
So now we needed this. I wanted to get all those mailers out, which could be thousands of mailers. I need someone to, type them out into the database, print them out, put them on the envelopes and so forth. So I thought that would be a good temp job because it's really only, say it's going to take a month to do 3,000. I don't know, 5,000. I don't know.
Somebody just for that.
Right. So we got a guy that we guaranteed him 25 hours. And the first couple of days he was great. So my assistant manager said, "Hey, why don't you ask him if he wants to work more hours? We'll teach him how to list on eBay." We're looking for something. He seems like a smart guy. He's computer savvy. So I said, "Hey, if you're interested in more hours, we can kind of split you up half and half, the two jobs." And he said, "Yeah, I'm on board." So.
Oh, good. And the nice thing about that, the one thing about the temp services, well, they do the vetting for you. And this particular temp service has a temp to hire situation.
Right. Yeah.
Where you can run them through their payroll for a while, and then I believe you pay a fee to the temp service.
Correct. Yeah.
And then
I knew the rules. I think 2 or 3 months they have to stay on through the temp service, which is fine, But I think I'm going to talk to him if he's willing to stay long term. We certainly will get him, doing all kinds of computer tech work that we need at this point. That's very true. Very true. Yeah. I love Scott Norwood.
That's old school. It's nightmare hiring people, even more so during COVID situation. Even in good time, only 1 in 5 end up being good hires.
Yeah, if you're lucky. Yeah.
Well, and then that raised the other point I was going to bring up is you're in a situation where you have to be fair to your current workers, yet offering minimum wage. And I'm making these numbers up. We'll just say minimum wage for $15, which it's not yet, but it will be at the end of the year.
Right.
Let's just say minimum wage is $15, and I've been working for you for 5 years, and I'm making $17.50.
Yeah. You
put out a ad for $15, nobody's going to show up.
Right.
You got to pay $16.50, maybe even $17.50 to get somebody to show up.
Right.
And then I'm sitting here having worked for you for 5 years saying, wait a minute, I put in 5 years of blood, sweat, and tears. And this clown off the street, nothing against him, I don't know.
Yeah.
But this clown off the street with no experience, doesn't know your systems. Right. You don't know whether he's going to show up, et cetera, et cetera. And you're paying the same thing that I'm paying him?
Right.
Hold on, I got a problem with, and rightly so at that point. Yet, if you're in a situation like that and you need the people to work, I don't see what your options. I mean, that's where the temp service works out really, really well, because they can vet the people can come in and whatever, you can tell them what you need, and then they can place somebody with you. And it does cost a little more out of your pocket than if you hire directly, but it's a lot easier for you.
Well, you can let them go anytime. And we had one guy, remember, he showed up, didn't have a job for 2 years. And after 2 hours, he wanted to take his 5-minute paid break. He ran a quarter mile down the road to get coffee, which we had a coffee machine. He shows up over an hour later thinking nothing was wrong. Never punched out. So the beauty of it was I said, you can leave now. And I called the temp service, said that we will not be needing him anymore. They could be milking unemployment. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. They actually, and this is, and not to get political because we're not a political show, but some states have required, all states have it, I believe all states have it, where if you're on unemployment, you're supposed to be trying to find a job.
Right.
In most situations. There are situations like in New York State, if you're a construction worker, you're laid off seasonally and you're going to come back to your job in the spring when the season opens back up, you don't have to search for a job because they don't want you finding a different job. They want you going back to that employer.
Yeah, exactly.
But for most of the time, now they did waive a lot of those rules, relax those rules during COVID. Well, now they're bringing those back saying, hey, people can't hire. You have to make an attempt to try to find a job.
Right.
So that's kind of what's going on with some states. And a lot of people are up in arms about it, going, that's not fair. Like, what do you mean it's not fair?
Yeah. Crazy.
People are more than willing to hire you.
Yeah.
I mean, you would hire, how many, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
August 15th.
Okay.
How many people would you be willing to hire if they had skills? 2, 3?
5.
5? There you go.
I have that much inventory. The problem I have is I have so much good inventory. No offense to my newer employees, my listers, they're not ready for that yet. Not that they can't do it, but there's a lot of things, little things, the listing, he listed a Tonka truck, didn't take a picture of the front, just little things that they're missing right now, or they're not zooming in, or there was a baseball player with a bat, they left the bat in the box. So, these guys are still novice at listing. So I don't trust giving them $50, $100, valuable items or difficult items to list.
Well, the nice thing would be they've got a couple of months under their belt at that point.
Right.
They can move up to the better items, and then you could train somebody new.
Hopefully,
on the lower end.
That is our goal. Yeah, and we have a lot of options because we have a system where we have certain cards for Amazon, certain cards for eBay, certain records for Amazon, certain for eBay. So, we do have a good system going. We just need good employees that can trust to list the higher end stuff that's right now stockpiling. Oh, we got a lot going on here. Easy hire, easy fire. Yep, loving that. A lot of my employees are family. They will not screw me, but sometimes they think they are maybe more important than regular employees. Sometimes they're better though.
Well, that raises a whole issue with if you have some inside and some outside the family. Let's say that all of a sudden tomorrow you grew into a 100-person operation.
Yeah.
And you hired an outside you hired an auction professor to come in and run the place.
Sure.
Family members aren't going to like that because they're going to be used to a certain way.
Yeah.
And the problem would end up being that they would chatter to you behind auction professor's back, saying, "Oh, what's he doing this? What's he doing? Why is he doing that?" And then that would be a whole situation.
Well, guess what? I'll probably have more money in my pocket by the end of the year, though.
I would think so. Yeah,
it's a business. It's not a familyness. All right. Have you ever hired someone that seemed like a decent, hardworking employee? But yes, I definitely hired a guy that was a friend of a friend. I thought he was going to be great. Let me mold this guy for a manager, assistant manager. And about a month into that, I realized he was a con man. He was doing drugs on the job, falling asleep on the job, breaking items, just was a nightmare. And then when I let him go, he was shocked. And then his last day of work, he had a whole box of records he listed. We just went in there to check, and only 5 were listed. So he was basically just putting records into a box, getting credit for listing them. Only 5 were listed. So he must have got tired after that or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yep.
There's a reason. Well, there's a number of reasons. There's a reason I don't have employees. Yep. Those are personality issues. Some people have serious mental issues. You can't spot them right away. No, that's very, very true.
Yeah. To me, they got to be a good fit. Sometimes I hire on my gut, to be honest with you, but it works out for the most part. All right. Unfortunately, we're not in Hong Kong.
You need to move to Hong Kong.
Brian's in the house. How's it going, Brian?
All right, now on to the main topic.
You forgot something, or are you waiting for my box?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, you can bring that up.
Oh, I didn't know. I mean, you wanted to wait?
Oh,
okay. So
it's half your show.
I brought a surprise box about yet another problem I'm having, which I brought it because it's kind of shocking and overwhelming. So let me grab it. Papergoy doesn't know what this is. I don't think so at this point.
It's a box. That's all that is. There went that glass work.
Do you know what that is?
Hold on. That is a.
No, that's 2 reams of paper. That's way over 1 ream of paper.
What is that?
So this is my one of my employees that is leaving us is helping me get through this other issue. This is 291,855 items on Amazon that have either been sold or kicked off, removed, detail page removed, high pricing, whatever, over the last 13 years. So this is a problem, and they all have to be deleted because what happens is, the situation. Say you have a violation on a high society magazine or a Hot Wheels that has a McDonald's logo or whatever. Well, they kick them off and you get a violation. So that could have happened 10 years ago. But since it's still it's zeroed out as my inventory, I can keep getting repeat violations. I didn't realize what was happening. So now the only way to really stop the old violations from returning is to delete them all.
Wait, so if you got a violation on a McDonald's toy today, can you get another violation 6 months from now? If
it's even if you sold it. So if it's zeroed out, every now and then, just like the adult stuff, they're going to throw a spike in and say, hey, all these high societies are violation, all these clubs are violation. Even though we don't list them anymore, we still get the violation because they're zeroed out.
Theoretically, I could sell a racing champions McDonald's car. It's the only thing I have listed.
Star Wars toys, Washington Redskin toys.
And I could every year get a violation.
Or twice a year. Yeah. And the problem we were having was what do they call that one? The violation with the intellectual property rights. Yeah. So we were at 1,200, and they said, they wanted another business plan of action or one's coming. Because I remember we spoke about I'm at risk or whatever. So they didn't tell us this, but we figured out this is the one way to do away with that. We would obviously have to maintain it once we got to 0. Wow. But little by little, I think they can do, I don't know, it's going to take them about 2 weeks to get close to 300,000 zeroed out. But I mean, it's worth doing, I guess, because then we won't be having these issues, you know.
Right.
So
Until their next.
So, you know,
well, and even that, the Washington football team issues are crazy. If you go on the boards, I had a book get ended for that, and literally it was about Washington D.C. Had nothing to do. It was the White House in Washington D.C. and it got ended because of the football team.
Oh yeah,
there's nothing of the football team on this.
But we get them all the time, even with other teams. We always get Redskins, but we get other teams as well. It's crazy. Anything Drew Bledsoe, Cal Ripken, it's just nuts. Do you know what an SOP is? Because I don't.
Standard operating procedure.
Okay, well, all right, there you go. That's why I'm not a manager.
You've got, I mean, not really. You've got an employee handbook, but as far as that goes, for the general rules, but as to the rules of the job, you don't really have anything like that. Kind of everybody knows what the job is, and then they train the new people. So the people in the job train the new people on it. Right. Nothing down in writing.
Yeah. Well, one of the guys I interviewed was he never showed up, was Michael Fox.
Oh.
He was a no-show.
There you go.
All right, Jim's got a good question. It's out of hand. Why print them out? So I think the issue was it was slow deleting them. So I think they wanted to print them out. So then another issue was a lot of violations we still have as inventory. So they weren't all zeroed out. So some things, was a violation, but it's still live. So what we wanted to do was pull them from inventory at some point. Because if they're going to zero everything out, we wouldn't know what's live then, and it would be dead stock. So I said, print it all out. At least we can decide which ones we want to pull and relist on eBay or whatever. Because some boxes were like 35 quantity or $1,000 lightsaber. It was stuff like that. So, even though we still have them, most of the stuff was sold, or it was a violation after it was sold at zero. But anything that's quantity one, if we deleted them all, then we'd have no idea where there's probably $100,000 or more in inventory just sitting in there dead. So that was the reason for printing them out.
So you've had an interesting week.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding me.
Wow.
Correct. We're definitely gonna keep up with deleting the old listings. Yeah. If you don't do that, do you?
I haven't. I might.
Yeah, I don't know. That's beyond my brain. I don't know. It seems like a complicated system because you have dead stock, you have zeroed items out, so I don't know how that would even work. And plus, that 300,000 number is crazy.
Wow, that's crazy. Yes, they do. But they do, but it's insane. And I say that because you've got that one Lawrence Welk record we always talk about that we have it priced, or you have it priced at $1, and Amazon ends it because it's priced too high. I've got paperback books that I have listed at $4.21, which they were $1.50 new back in the 1960s and 70s. So you take inflation into account, it's pretty darn close to $4 nowadays, and they tag them for being high priced. So they do, but the bots are terrible. They're absolutely terrible on it. And I'll sit there and I'll relist it lower sometimes. That's what I did with the Lawrence Welk. It was like a price at like $4. And I priced it down to $1 just to see. Why not? And it ended up still being overpriced at $1.
Well, on those piles of listings, a lot of the high pricing errors, they tried lowering them even by cutting them in half, and they still were pricing errors.
Yeah, so it's crazy. I guess we got a little bit of time to get into our main topic today, and that was, how soon do you pull the plug on a new idea or a new channel? And I think you and I do these things totally differently. We'll talk about where your adult listings, you moved them to your website.
Yep.
And you've also moved them to another site, some of them.
We started experimenting on the other site. Yep.
And how are things going on that site?
Not too good right now. Yeah. So I don't know if I do think a lot of eBayers are waiting till tomorrow, believe it or not, to start shopping elsewhere. We probably listed 300 items in 3 days, just to experiment, like a little variety of pricing, anywhere from 10 to 16, offers, no offers, and so forth, free shipping. So you got everything out there. We haven't sold anything yet. But then when you went on there over the last 5 or 6 days, it said they're doing some work on the site. Maintenance. So you could still list, sell, and buy, but that comes right up. So I think that might be scaring people off until they fix it. I think we emailed them, no response at this point. So I don't know what's going on with them. It's either a small company or they're getting too big and they can't contact everyone back. I don't know.
Well, I guess my question to you is, because you and I do things differently on that. You tend to throw everything at the wall at once and go big on something or other.
Just the website, my own website. Yeah.
Well, just
Yeah.
anything you do
Yeah.
that. You know, any site. I mean, before you had the issue with Etsy, you listed a lot of stuff on Etsy. With this adult, you listed a lot of stuff. Now you do have the benefit of having the listers to do that, as opposed to being a one-man band. So you do have that benefit, but you tend to like rush into it, and then if it works out, you're already got a good setup on it, and keep going with it.
Yeah.
But if it's not working out, you pull the plug very quickly.
I'll pull the plug, or I'll spend less time. Like this new adult site, if I don't get many sales, maybe one day a week or 2 weeks, we'll put some more, or triple. You know, if we put something on Amazon, we put some on the website. We might put a triple on that site. Just say, we don't care, it's a triple. If it never sells, who cares? So we're not investing a lot of time and money into it if it doesn't take off. So.
Yeah, because the main reason I'm asking that too is, in general, like take Etsy, for example.
Yeah.
I've sold 2 items at this point, and I don't know, how long have I been listed on there? A month and a half, something like that.
Right.
You know, so I've got whatever that works out to, I don't know, 100 items on there, whatever it is, 105 items, something like that. And I've sold 2. You know, same thing with the Vivs-Views. I've got 175 items, and I sell about 1 item a week.
Right.
And I know that you wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, no matter who it is, I think if you wanted to sell more on Etsy, you have to list a lot more.
Right.
If you list a lot more on Etsy, then you're listing a lot less on eBay or, you know, Vivs or whatever. So you got to like balance it out. What makes you happy as far as distributing your time in listings, you know? So I'm going with, I do have 15 employees or 14 employees. So if I said, hey, let's all list on this new site and nothing sells, well, guess what? I got $1,000 in payroll to give out with no sales in return. So I kind of like that steady flow every week.
Right. And it makes sense. And I guess the reason I'm asking on that is, like, you know, most of the various things that I'm listing on, you know, okay, I'm paying 20 cents every 4 months for listing on Etsy.
Yeah.
Not the end of the world one way or the other, but I'm working on the website.
Yeah.
And then the question comes, how much time do I dedicate to the website as well?
Right.
Versus what sales am I going to get off it? Now, of course, I'm going to have the eBay and the Amazon stuff brought over to the website, which is a whole nightmare as well.
You're going to do that yourself? You're going to do that yourself?
No.
The web. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm using the same person to work on my website as you used on yours, and she's very good, and she does contact back, and she works through the problems. And inevitably, there are problems on stuff as well.
Sure.
She's doing a good job working through it, and she sent me a couple of pictures of things, works in progress, and I like the way they're looking.
Good.
And we're going to be sitting down next week doing a Zoom call, kind of going over how things have to work, how everything works together, but also doing the things like, okay, what do I want it to say in this area? Introducing myself. What do I want it to say here? What do I want it to say here? And believe it or not, one of the harder things with bringing your Amazon, let me ask you this. How does your website handle Amazon items as far as shipping?
Not very good.
Oh, well, there we go. Very good.
Whatever comes over, whatever it says, that's what it is, I think. Yeah. I'm
talking international. That's the issue.
I don't know. We've never sold an Amazon on Shopify internationally. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, an Amazon item.
Amazon that went to I don't believe I have. eBay, I have no problem. So would the Shopify cart not understand it?
Because the Amazon's not pulling weights over, because not everything has weights.
Right.
And
SKUs too, I guess. Well, like our date codes, I guess we had to change up our date codes 2 years ago in the comments and put them where the SKUs are now, or else they wouldn't come over. So anything like 2 years ago that we never did SKUs, when it comes over, you'd actually
on Amazon?
Yeah, from Amazon. So Amazon has its own SKU. Yeah. I'm talking about our date codes would be our the comments, because it's in the comments. When it comes over, the comments go away, which kind of sucks, but we can still find it through Sellbrite, but it's just an extra step.
Right. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yep. That was the other thing that she was saying, is that the comments do not transfer.
Yeah. So it's not as easy as eBay. It's a much longer process.
Okay, see, and Amazon was real easy for me
Yeah.
because I don't use the SKU area. I just use whatever Amazon SKU is. See, and so that's the big question is how long and how much time do I dedicate toward the website? Because that's something other that I can't pull the plug on.
No, and that's going to be your baby, and that's what you're going to dedicate more time to, and you're going to make more money there. That's your goal. That's everyone's goal, really, why we do it. So if it's me, if I'm doing that, and I don't have much success with Etsy or Mercari or anyone else, I'm pulling the plug on those and dedicating time there. You know, Viv's Views, you can still do a little bit there. Colors, you can still, whatever it is, you can still do that there. So,
right off the top.
Yeah. But I would say eliminate those type of sites because you're not going to sell a lot on there unless you put a lot of time and effort. With that time and effort, you should be putting it to the website.
See, and that's where I disagree with you a little bit. And my disagreement is, for example, I went to that sale and I picked up those records for dirt cheap. I mean, I had nothing into them.
Right.
And so I ended up listing on Discogs, which I rarely sell anything on.
Yeah.
But I've got them there, and I don't know. I guess my way of looking at it is I don't know good from bad in records.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know enough that I picked these ones up. You know, they're not complete garbage. But what I did is I went to Amazon first.
Yeah.
And if they were dirt cheap on Amazon, I threw them on Discogs.
Right.
Or if they weren't on Amazon, I checked Discogs or put them on eBay.
Right.
So I kind of use like a Discogs. I might list once every 6 months on.
Yeah.
Not expecting to get a lot of sales, but it's just kind of the extra records that I pick up. Because what else am I going to do with them? I guess is how I look at a site like that.
Yeah. Now, are you talking about your website building up, meaning you're going to list exclusively on there or Amazon? Because I mean, there's another way to do it just by listing more on eBay and Amazon and pushing it all over. So you're really building up that way too.
Yeah, no, exclusively. Because my way of looking at it is I want to give you a reason to come to my website.
Yeah.
Yes, there is a little bit of a reason that you can, get shipping discount and buy the eBay and the Amazon stuff all together, get shipped all together, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So you do have that slight advantage. But beyond that, I want to give a reason for you to come to Papergoy's website. Why are you there? Because you get stuff there that you can't get elsewhere.
Sure.
And I've also, I picked up, which maybe I'll show on the next show. I picked up something or other from Heritage, some artwork that's really, really, I think a really good piece of original art. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of questionable whether I could list it on eBay or not because of the subject matter.
Right.
So that's the kind of thing that I would put on the website because, again, I mean, it's a historical piece of art. It's a nice piece of art, but I don't want to get in trouble with eBay, obviously, listing something.
With their discretion, who knows? Exactly.
And so anytime their rules happen to change, I mean, years ago, you couldn't list high times on eBay. Now you can.
Right.
So what did we do? We all listed them on Amazon. Well, if all of a sudden eBay again says, no, not that I have any high times, but if all of a sudden you can't list them on either site, well, I can list them on my website. Yeah. That's the...
you can always call eBay and describe what you have, and they can confirm with a letter. Yeah, it's okay to list in this category, but I see where you're going with that.
You just never know. So it's just kind of interesting because again, I guess I go a little bit longer on a lot of these sites. I may not put a lot of effort into them, but I'm listing one item a day on Etsy, one item a day on Viz-Views. So it's not like I'm going great guns on them.
Right.
But the other way of looking at it, at the end of a year, I'll have 300 and some items up on each site just off of one a day, and it doesn't take any time to do.
Right. Yeah.
So, and with the Etsy, I'm still finding my footing because I don't know exactly what sells.
Yeah, I mean, there's no wrong answer. Unfortunately for me, the Mr. Magazine site, because we split it up for the two adult sites and that, I don't put much time into that anymore because, over 10 years, I haven't had much success with it. There's a ton of eBay stuff that's pushed over to it. But if we get 1 or 2 sales a month, that's a lot for that site. We've advertised, put flyers into eBay customers, but the adult one, we do really well, a lot better that way. If we do 200-300 a day in sales, so far is good, not even with the switch over. So we're going to dedicate time to that because that's where we're getting the success from.
Right. And I guess maybe there's no right or wrong answer, but I guess a lot of it depends upon you're paying people. I'm not paying people.
Right.
And I think that's a big, like you said, that's a big difference, because again, you decide you want to do Etsy, which you've never really done before. You put all 15 people to listing on Etsy and you're listing car magazines. Well, maybe car magazines don't sell on Etsy.
Right.
So you just spent an entire week listing 15,000 items on Etsy at 20 cents an item to sell 4 items.
Yeah, it's tough when you have payroll, you got to pay. So you got to get that money back somehow.
Yeah, no, definitely does make sense.
Yeah.
Take a run through and then
Mr. Cuddy's question: which site is added? It's called Adult Stuff Only. It seems to be the only new site up for adult. Like the eBay they're very similar to eBay with categories. You can list anything that's legal. There are a lot of categories there. People are listing. It's still, new, so there's not a ton of stuff on there. But if everyone starts listing on there, hopefully it'll get into something. So let's see here. We got William Curtin. Yeah, I was getting crazy low offers and guys trying to buy rare magazines for $30-$40 for 5 and 10. And I just said, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I got more respect for my product.
But you also have another outlet.
Well, that's what I said. I go, we do sell them elsewhere. We get a lot more money than you're offering. Unfortunately, I go, if you want to check out our website, maybe you can make an offer there, but I can't sell them that cheap.
Well, do you want to go into that super quick?
What's that?
Because it's the last day. So
go into what super quick?
About the website and eBay.
The dirty magazines at XXX?
And eBay.
What about it?
What you were allowed.
Oh, I mentioned it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
That I could, well, not today, but I think we're about that I could email my website. Yeah. So when this first happened close to 6-8 weeks ago, I was concerned. So I just had my manager call eBay and say, hey, is it all, since we're not competing with you in a few weeks, would it be okay to tell all my eBay adult customers my web address that we'll be selling off of?
And we emphasize that it only sold adult on it.
Right. Well. Yeah. So I go, we won't be competing with eBay whatsoever, obviously, because eBay is doing away with the magazines. And they said, yeah, no problem. I go, could you email me a letter stating it? Because I certainly don't want to be emailing thousands of customers and all of a sudden I'm kicked off for 1,000 violations. So yeah, they've been really good. I put my website on. We've emailed probably 1,000 buyers over the last month. So yeah, very glad they were allowed me to do that. That was actually good of them to do that.
Very, very nice of them.
Yeah.
But again, there is no competition.
We're correct. Yeah.
They're not
for sure.
That product. Yep. But that was very nice of them.
Yeah.
Thank you, eBay.
Oh gosh, yeah. I can't pronounce that last word, but okay. So Pasmina.
Oh yeah.
All right. Let's one more for Eric Perrin. Let's see. He's Mr. Song Guy tonight.
There's no good guy. There's no bad guy. There's just you and me, and we just disagree.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to do the whole William Shatner spoken word thing.
Yeah.
Clowns to the left of me, shoulders to the right.
Yeah. Papergoy bought this from me. $7. Yeah, it's actually it's a Grogu figurine. He's naked, but I couldn't put it on eBay anymore.
No, obviously, obviously.
Yeah, they sit for a while in the corner of my warehouse. Where there's an area where I get leaks all the time and torrential downpours. I put all my car magazines there to block the water from hitting anything valuable. Yeah, that's great.
All right, now we're into the.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I'm kind of going to totally throw me off my game there. Time for the rambling story of the week, and we're
it's like deja vu all over again.
We're going to put you on the spot here, Mr.
Don't we always?
Yes, we are. So I was overseas with Mysterious Benefactor.
All right.
And we went out to a pub for a pint, and they like their football over there. I don't know if you were aware of that or not.
Okay.
By football, of course, I mean soccer.
I got you. I'm with you.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I was explaining to them, and they had no understanding of this, that soccer really is not, and we're going back probably 8 years ago. It's gotten more popular over here.
Yeah.
But it's still not a particularly popular sport overall compared to American football, college football, basketball, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
And they just absolutely did not believe me. So what they did is they said, I said to them, I said, I can't even name 3 American players. And they started laughing. Oh, come on, it's so easy. Name 3 American soccer players.
Ronaldo's not American, right?
No, he's not American.
He's not American.
Like born American.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he's a citizen.
I just like Messi. He's not. I mean, I just know those guys.
So they laughed really, really hard because the first person, when I say his name, you're going to know, but he turned out to be not very good. Freddie Adu.
Okay. Yeah, I do. He was like young, like 14, 16 years old.
I guess what ended up happening, and from what I hear, my opinion, what I've heard, I don't know, so don't sue me, Mr. Adu. I heard that he actually was a couple of years older They kind of had screwed a little bit with it, so he was a year or two older than they thought that he was. So he was a year or two further along in development. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's the story. So they laughed really, really hard. They go, Freddie Adu, who is he?
Yeah.
I go, he's an American, so I got one. They go, okay, name two more. You're doing about as well as I did.
I'm trying to think of like those. Remember those old starting lineups?
Well,
Diego Maradona's not. I mean,
they gave me a clue.
Okay.
And when they gave me the clue, I got this one. I go, you got to give me some initials. You have to give me some. Oh, you're going to get this in 2 seconds. I ended up getting it about 5 minutes later.
Oh my God.
LD. Landon Donovan.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right.
I think they had to give me that one.
Yeah, okay.
I think I just looked at him like, huh?
Yeah.
And then the last one I didn't get. They had to give it to me. Long red hair goalie.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Alexi Lalas.
That's it, yeah, okay.
Yep.
But then I would think he's Greek, right? He's a Greek, but he's in the U.S.
He was born in the United States.
Jeez.
So they had a lot of fun. Thought I was completely putting them on, and I think they ended up buying me a pint for being so
nice.
Just not knowing anything whatsoever about soccer. And they just could not, and of course they're naming like 20, 30 players.
We got to call Brian out on that one. He could name hundreds.
You got me. Yeah. I got one. Freddie Adu.
Yeah. Jeez.
But yeah, that was fun over there. Good time over there. But yeah, they love. The other crazy thing is the American football is making inroads over there.
Mm-hmm.
And it certainly is now, but it was 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Right.
And they actually could name more football players, American football players, than I could name soccer players.
Crazy.
So yeah, it is very, very crazy. If you want to take another quick run through, and then
all right, everyone knows Landon now. Yeah.
Yep, that one I got.
Maybe so. We will see.
Well, one thing, Brian, I got to say about that, you might be right, but they've been saying that since the 70s as well. That being said, I was listening to Dan Patrick today, and he was talking about how the problem with baseball is their demographics are me. Guys in their 50s and older, they're big stars, and that the kids really aren't going to it. So baseball definitely is losing its popularity. And the other thing, you may or may not have ever noticed this, if you take a look at the old sporting news from the 50s and 60s, November issues, do you know what they're talking about? November, December?
No.
What would they be talking about now?
Football be
the first thing. Football. November, December, right in the middle of football season.
Yeah.
Front page, we're talking about trade rumors of baseball. Yeah. And 3 pages in, it would say, oh, by the way, the Jets won the game, or the Chiefs won the game, or whatever it was. So baseball definitely has fallen off its perch from back then, where they were front page on the sporting news during football season.
Yeah, right.
I would never. Now they're not even front page during baseball season.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Cuddy checked out adult stuff only. Yeah, it's it's definitely new, so hopefully people can build it up. I think some people that have bigger inventories, maybe not to my level, but they're going to try out websites of their own, see how that works out. Which it's going to be hard and slow process, but we'll see. Hopefully, everyone finds a site. Maybe this is the site down the road. We will see.
Well, that's something other than after I get my website up. I'm going to share and news to you. You're going to share as well.
No,
we're going to share costs as to what it costs to get the website up and all that kind of thing. Don't know if it'll be a live show, if it'll be a studio show.
Yeah.
But we're going to share costs because I think a lot of people are going to be looking at websites, looking at all that kind of stuff. But I know that when I went into it, and certainly when you had your first website, how long ago was that? 15 years, whatever
over
it was.
10, 12,
12 years ago.
Easily, yeah.
You have no idea. You have no idea where to start. You have no idea about it. So now that I'm walking through it and you've walked through it as well, we're definitely going to do a show to help people out there who do want to start their own website. This is what you need. Avoid this. This is good. This is not quite so good.
Yeah.
Because we're at the mercy of the programmers. We really truly are. We don't know. They could tell us, it's like the old joke when you go to take your car in and they tell you that you need blinker fluid. And you're going, okay, I didn't know blinker fluid ran low.
Right, exactly, yeah.
It does. You can check it yourself.
Oh, okay.
All righty, everybody. The show went a little long, but it was a lot of fun tonight. It was hopefully you're a little less stressed next week. We'll give you
No, I'm not. When it all goes away, I'll be less stressed.
Well, and that was what I wrote down over here. Something other to think about. If I could read my writing. I would almost look at, if I were in your shoes,
Mhm.
I would look at July just as a lost cause.
Yeah.
Any sales that you make this month, you've had last year was a good year for you.
Yeah.
This year, until summer slowdown,
Right.
was a pretty good year for you.
Yeah.
You've got a little bit of money in the bank. Maybe cut back a little bit on buys,
Sure.
just to kind of
Oh, yeah.
conserve the money,
Right.
and look at this month as a lost cause. Just that this is what I have to do.
Right.
And you really, unfortunately, don't have any option with the item specifics, and you don't have any option with the the Amazon, because you
Right.
do need both.
Yeah.
At this point, you do need.
Oh
both.
yeah. I mean, my eBay sales are, and actually, if I didn't relist any item specifics, I'd have 50,000 listings out of 250 with the adult that I had, a month ago. So yeah, crazy.
Yeah. So look at it as a lost cause. You got to put the time
Yeah.
in, and nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
It is what it is on that, and be happy and smiling next week.
All right, we will try.
All righty, everybody, do hit the like button, and we will see you next week.
Take care. Bye bye.